Welcome to East by West Farms. Here we grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Today I'm going to show you what's still survived in the greenhouse. We had a very bad cold week last week. I think with 2 nights we had like almost 0 degrees Fahrenheit. It's like minus 17, 18 degrees C. The greenhouse is not heated. We did put lots of hay in there to cover the plants. We also put hay around it. We had 2 thermometers inside. One was hanging in the air, measured the air temperature. That reading is almost identical to the temperature outside, and it gets really cold. We also buried a thermometer under the hay. The coldest temperature is red. It was minus 9 degrees, so it's like maybe around teens. We don't know whether the plants survived or any plants survived. That's what we want to find out today. First, I need to move the hay out of the entranceway, and then I can go in there and see what's going on inside. That cleaned up nice, so let's see what's happening inside. It's been windy today. That's what the inside look like. I can feel the warmth here. The greenhouse is not heated, so the temperature inside pretty much is the same as outside. But hopefully the hay that we use to cover the plant will serve as an insulation and protect the plants from the cold. In addition to the hay, just to add more insurance, I also put the tarp on top of the hay. So the first thing I needed to do is take the tarp out. That's what look like inside the greenhouse. My next step is to take the hay fork and move all this hay out. These are not bad. The first thing I dug out are the bonsai trees. These are supposed they can take some cold. That's why they are out at the peripheral of the big pile over there. The thing is, they can take some cold, so they should be okay. But I noticed that a few of them are pretty dry. A lot of time, it's not the cold that kills the plant. It's actually the dryness, because when it's cold, when it's frozen, the ice evaporates, and so that make the soil very dry. So the first thing I would do is to make sure rehydrate them. They don't look bad at all, so hopefully they will survive, and then we should get some warm weather, and they should start to push out new growth. I cleaned out all the hay out and moved some of the plants out. I kind of grouped them to see what kind of damage I got. Here are all the peaches that I showed in the previous video that Chris cut from the peach tree at home. They seem did very well, and some of them look like it's going to bloom soon. If I want to have them to root, I probably should take the flower buds off so that they don't spend the energy to flower. But this big guy over here already have leaves. The same thing with this one. I can see that the leaves come out, and that didn't seem to get damaged by the cold. So that's very encouraging. This year I will keep them in the greenhouse, so to keep the moisture up. Over here, I have basically some cool season vegetable that I seeded in the tofu box, and I was planning to put them in the ground. They seem to all survived inside the greenhouse. Some show some frost damage, but they look very healthy. We had this big freeze, and I hope that Mother Nature will be kind to us so that will not give us another later winter frost. So I'm going to take my risk and put all these cool season vegetable in the ground, and hopefully they will start to grow very soon. The green onions are doing great. They didn't seem bothered by the cold. And I have some gailan, some Chinese setters, some mustard green, and some kind of bok choy, the Thai soy. So they all seem survived pretty well. So I hope I get some greens very soon. Over here is this alternative sunken bed and the raised bed that I built in January to produce emergency green for us. I transplanted some plants into this raised bed and the sunken bed. So these are mustard greens and some setters and some fava bean over there. They established the roots just before the freeze hit, and then the freeze hit, so now they look a little bit damaged, but look like some are okay. Maybe the leaves got damaged, but the roots are okay. The fava bean probably is the one that suffered the most, which is kind of surprising, but seems to be they will be okay. They may take a little bit time maybe for them to recover, but then they probably will do well here. Another sign of hope is this seedling over here. Believe it or not, this little guy decided to sprout in the middle of a historic ice storm. It looked like some kind of squash. I hope it's a cucumber, so that I can keep it in here and let it climb up the greenhouse. I would expect this section will do better because it's more in the middle. But turns out that as I move more toward the west, the damage looks much worse. I have some of these fava bean that I have not had a chance to transplant them. They are still in the box. They are actually doing better than the one that I transplant to the ground. I have peas that seems are doing much better. And the fava bean, I thought is more resistant to cold than the pea, but seems that the fava bean shows more damage. I put some chayote down and hoping that they will sprout. Some of them had some damage, but the bottom looks still pretty green. So I hope this one can still recover. I see a lot of peas over here that when I move the hay out a little bit, they seem to be survived pretty well. Maybe in 1-2 weeks we will see the full extent of the damage, but look like some are hiding underneath and seems to be doing pretty well. On this side are seedlings and some winterized plants. The weekend before the big storm hit, I seeded some of the plants, spring and the summer plants. At this point, I don't know whether they get damaged or not because they haven't sprouted yet, so they might be okay. I just have to wait and see if they come out or not. This is a mint plant. Look like you just cannot kill a mint plant. That seems to be the only one that come out and still very happy, even though usually they don't like to take cold at all, but this one seems to be happy. I have some of the peppers and tomatoes. They don't look like happy at all. I think most of them probably are dead. One of the biggest casualty is my jade tree bonsai. Even though I know that they are more cold sensitive and I put them in the middle and have all other plants surrounding them, but they still didn't make it. So most of them looks pretty dead. I hope 1 or 2 are still, the roots are still alive and maybe come out, have new sprout, but I'm not hopeful. But looking at this, they look pretty bad. In this video, I showed you what survived the big historic winter storm inside the greenhouse. We did have some casualty, but we did have quite a few plants that made it. Next, I'm going to take some of these cold hardy plants and transplant them in the ground and also in the garden. So hopefully that will be the end of winter for us and we will start our growth season. Thanks for watching. If you like this content, please give me a thumb up. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it down below. If you have not done so, please hit the subscribe button to follow our journey with the East by West farms.